40 Indians were killed and more than 50 injured after a devastating fire broke out at dawn in a building housing around 195 migrant workers in southern Kuwait's Mangaf area.
Right, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called the incident saddening and has said that the Indian embassy in Kuwait is closely monitoring the situation.
He has also announced relief of $2,400 to the families of killed Indian nationals from the Prime Minister Relief Fund and instructed the government to extend all possible assistance to the people. Prime Minister Modi also held a high-level meeting and has directed Minister of State for External Affairs KV Singh to leave for Kuwait immediately.
Taking to social media, X Singh wrote, and I'm quoting here, as directed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we are immediately departing for Kuwait to provide assistance to those injured in the fire tragedy and to coordinate with local authorities for early repatriation of mortal remains of those who have died in this unfortunate incident.
The situation is that the victims are mostly burn victims, and some of the bodies have been charred beyond recognition. So a DNA test is underway to identify the victims, and the Air Force plane is on the ready, and as soon as the bodies are identified, their kin will be informed, and our Air Force plane will bring the bodies back.
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar spoke to his Kuwaiti counterpart and said that he was assured that the incident would be fully probed and that the responsibility would be fixed. The Kuwaiti Foreign Minister further said that they will review the situation closely once India's minister reaches Kuwait.
India's Ministry of External Affairs also released a statement confirming that the injured are receiving medical care in 5 governmental hospitals and that they are in stable condition. The embassy is currently working with Kuwaiti authorities and the involved company to obtain comprehensive details.
According to officials, the majority of those deceased were Indian nationals from Kerala and North Indian states. The Tamil Nadu government has announced that it is probing whether Tamils were among those killed in the tragic fire incident. As per local media in Kuwait, the deadly fire engulfing the apartment building in Al Mangaf area could have been due to a gas leak. As per the Kuwait Times, reports indicated that it could have been a gas leak from the building's ground floor, though no official confirmation or reason has been given as of yet by the authorities, and the cause of the fire is also unknown.
Meanwhile, Kuwait's Minister of Public Works and Minister of Municipality have been suspended after the tragic incident. Now, for more on this, we have our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhan Sibal, joining us live on the phone line. Siddhan, if you can hear me. Now, Minister of State of External Affairs, KV Singh, has left for Kuwait. Meanwhile, S. Jaishankar is also speaking with Kuwaiti counterpart regarding the fire tragedy. What else is the Indian government and the Kuwaiti government doing at the moment? And how do you see that the things are moving forward after India's Minister, KV Singh, reaches Kuwait today?
Well, since the incident happened yesterday, we know several measures have been taken place. So first, from the Indian side, we know that the Indian Prime Minister held a meeting, an important meeting yesterday evening, where the Indian External Affairs Minister, MOS KV Singh, and NSA were present along with Foreign Secretary and other officials, in which a decision was taken that 2 lakh rupees will be given to the next of kin of those who have died. Now, we also know, as you pointed out, that MOS is leaving for Kuwait. The External Affairs Minister has spoken to his Kuwaiti counterpart. But essentially, a large number of Indians are from the state of Kerala. And of course, we know that the Chief Minister of Kerala has also written to the External Affairs Minister about the situation and the support and assistance required. On the ground, the Indian mission, the Indian embassy, is working almost non-stop. The Indian ambassador was seen in the hospital where the injured are being taken care of. And we know about Kuwait, it has a substantial, a very large number of Indians. These Indians are playing an important role. Most of them are in the blue-collar worker job, and they are playing an important role in terms of infrastructure development. But a lot of them are doctors, nurses, and of course supporting the growth of Kuwait. The Kuwaiti government, on its part has ordered an investigation. The leadership there has also sent condolences. And the Kuwaiti Interior Minister was also seen at the location and has ordered the arrest of the person who is responsible for the incident. So it is still a developing story. Today, we will see more development happening in terms of the governments of Kuwait and India working together to provide support to those who are injured and also, of course, provide relief to them.
Right, Siddhant, you speak of how the Indian are in demand in Kuwait. Talk to us about why are Indians in demand in Kuwait and why does it constitute a significant labor force for Kuwait? If I could just spill some numbers, according to data, Indians constitute 21% of Kuwait's total population and 30% of its total workforce.
Well, that's a larger West Asian situation. You point to any country from UAE to Qatar to Kuwait to Oman. Indians play an important role in West Asia. They constituted an important population there, providing support. And if you look at the Indian diaspora, I can divide the Indian diaspora into two major components. First is the diaspora, which is wealthy in many senses in UK, US, in the West, in Australia. And the diaspora in West Asia, the blue-collar workers. Now, for that, India has in the past signed a number of pacts to make sure that they do not face problems. In fact, one thing I can point out, a fact that many of our viewers might not know, is the largest number of consulars present in Indian embassies anywhere in the world are in West Asia, in countries like UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, because of the needs of these people in terms of any support. They also face a lot of challenges of their own. Their governments, of course, have been appreciative of the role Indians are playing in the country in terms of development, but there have been issues in the past as well. For example, kafala system. This was a system that was prevalent long time in West Asia. According to that if any person, for example, an Indian goes to West Asia, his passport was to be kept by the employer, and he used to never give the passport, essentially making them a slave. And this basically means that they cannot move around, they cannot switch jobs, and they cannot even leave the country. This was strongly taken up by the Modi government in last 10 years, and this has now reduced. This tradition has now been kept down. But essentially, there are other issues as well, and India has been time again raising this issue.
Right. Thank you so much, Siddhant, for that. And we will be tracking more developments as we go forward. Now, we're also being joined by our correspondent, Siddhant MP, on the phone line. Now, Siddhant, 40 Indians have lost their lives, and most of them are being probably are from Kerala and North India. And we know that Tamil Nadu has launched a probe. Do we have any such news from any North Indian states that as of now? And well, we see that the Tamils, do we know any numbers that how many of them could have been from that region?
So what we know is that Tamil Nadu, of course, launched an inquiry into this entire incident that's happened, an unfortunate incident that unfolded in Mangaf yesterday. So the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister has just now shared a social media post, and he has mentioned that the non-resident Tamils Welfare Department, they are actually in touch with the authorities in Kuwait. They're in touch with the Indian embassy there. They're in touch with the diasporic populations there. And there are also, of course, a lot of associations for Tamils who are living abroad. So they're in touch with these associations there to understand what is the situation like, how many Tamils are affected directly by this, either injured or casualties. And we also have to remember in a lot of cases, the bodies are charred beyond recognition. So it would take some time to actually ascertain the identities, which is why there is a delay in getting the details. But of course, as day breaks in Kuwait, we'll get to know Kuwait is at least 2.5 hours behind Indian time. So day has still not broken in Kuwait. But, by the time, it's afternoon or evening in India, more details are expected to emerge from Kuwait. But now it's still early hours in Kuwait. And that's why, much of the information that we're giving is from yesterday's developments. Because today, as such, what we can expect is we can expect an update on the numbers, because Kerala yesterday it was ascertained that at least 10 people who are deceased, that is of the 40 plus people deceased, at least 10 of them are from Kerala. And their details has also been revealed that some of them are in their even early 20s and some of them are in their 50s. So even their age group and the district that they belong to in Kerala, that has been ascertained in some cases. But in the other case, especially from Tamil Nadu, there is no clarity yet. and also to talk about the
Right.
attractiveness of Kuwait as a destination for those in India, is especially the fact that Kuwait has the strongest currency in the world. So just to give our viewers some perspective, one Kuwaiti dinar is equal to almost $3.5 US. So US dollar itself is considered a very, very strong and stable currency. Then one Kuwaiti dinar is equal to $3.5, which is what makes it an extremely
Right.
attractive destination for Indians to go there and work, especially be it those from lower strata, be it the labor class, or be it also those who are in white-collar professions and professional domains. This makes
Right,
Kuwait a very
Siddharth.
attractive destination for work, because the world's strongest currency is the Kuwaiti dinar. To give you some perspective,
Siddharth.
for the last 10 years, the Kuwaiti dinar has been well over 200 Indian rupees, and then one Kuwaiti dinar is more than 200 Indian rupees,
Nice.
and right now one Kuwaiti dinar is almost 272 Indian rupees. So this gives a perspective on why there is
right.
such a large Indian population there, because this makes it such an attractive destination for earning and being able to send that money back to India.
Right, Siddharth.
But of course, that is just one aspect on the background.
Right, Siddharth. Thank you so much for joining us on the show with your insights.